Welcome to Keeping the Ball on the Ground with William Hill. We've got a special guest, it's the one and only Charlie Adams.
Hey!
Charlie, what's happening?
Nothing much. In lockdown, lads. What's happening with yous?
Look at that. What is he wearing? Paul Slane. What are you wearing? Kevin and Perry, man.
Sir, you'll not believe this. Robbie Williams has messaged again! Charlie boy, shows me your pitch face!
Hey, by the way, you're not allowed at the house, so why have you got a fishing hat on?
Charlie boy, that was Robbie that sent me that. He said, all the best, keep me entertained. What a man.
Kev, what's happening, big boy?
Not a lot, mate. I'm just enjoying the sunshine. It's lovely up here in Cumbernauld.
Nice, isn't it?
Is it nice in your year?
It's lovely as well. Oh, what have you been doing all weekend? Sitting on the couch getting off a win?
Aye, that was the first priority. The second was eating 300 fucking Easter eggs.
Si, I'm just going to say before we go on with Charlie Ad. Oh,
What you
oh yes, mate. Give us a wee bit of that.
That's for you when you're staying over next week.
Mate, as soon as I'm no word of a lie, as soon as the lockdown's over, oh, Charlie boy!
Look at that, Charlie!
Oh, that's magic, mate.
What, Kev?
What?
What's happened to the hair?
Aye, going a wee bit thin, Charlie.
Is it we working with these two?
I think it has been, to be fair, that they're stressing me out every time Suarez go for a wee put down. It makes me a wee bit insecure, Charlie. You know how it is? I might go for one of the kind of looks you've got.
I think you might need. Or why don't you just get one of Slaney's hats?
Nah, mate, I've got better cap. I've got this cap sent to me, right?
Yeah.
I've never wore it. It's quite a unique thing, right?
All right.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, Charlie, you're one of them as well.
I've got some of them. I've got one that I played against Spain.
Oh, Slaney, they've planned that. They've done us, by the way.
Not the bastards.
Love that, lads.
Magnificent, boys.
Congratulations on being the two of the worst Scotland players ever.
Yeah, Neil Simon.
That's all right. You're coming at half time against Spain and got man of the match. Don't worry about it, son.
Yes, I love it. Slaney, I want to ask you something.
Hey?
Was that the game that got called off for the floodlights, no?
No, I never. I don't think I played in that one. I remember we were getting beat 2-0 at Hampden and we lost 3-2.
Oh, yes.
McManus sold the pies, didn't he?
Oh, there's no fucking change there, is there?
What I'm going to say right now, and I'm going to make this really, really clear. For the last 6 months, a lot of people have ripped me off. You know, I'm going to send a warning. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, Si, that's a lie. I'm going to England and I'm about to take over England. Autumn goal are ready to bombard their way down England. And I'll tell you the first target we're going for. Dave Jones. See that wee presenter, Simon? He is an embarrassment. He went for Graham Souness. It was absolutely pathetic, and that's the first guy I'm going for. And not only him, Simon, there's a man who has ruined football for me. Duncan fucking Watmore. The worst winger ever to play the game. So that's the first 2 targets I'm coming for. Remember, people...
How's Duncan Watmore being killed?
He's not only a horrific winger, he's a horrific person. Remember when Mourinho came in and the wide players, they said, with the left mid tucking in and the right midfielder tucking in on the left foot? That was because Duncan Watmore was that bad. Playing as a right midfielder, they had to change it. That man should be banned for the game.
Man, over. You man's not happy about him, is he?
And Dave Jones, Simon, that man, he shouldn't be presenting, I'll tell you that.
I think he's good, Slaney, eh?
I think he's absolutely superb.
Charlie,
yeah.
You've been doing the 10Ks, the 5Ks, what have you been doing? You've been running to the bottom of your drive, that's about 10K, innit?
No, to be fair, I've been training, just doing a bit in the gym and going out on the bike and things like that, just trying to see and wait. Hopefully something happens, but I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon. It's going to be a long wait. And listen, football's in a mess at the moment, I think, and we need it to try and sort it quickly.
Nightmare, man. Right, we're going to talk about your career, Charlie. Rangers, man, like you just said before we came on, what, 20 years ago?
Nearly, yeah, close to 20 years ago. I started there when I was like 15 and a half. So yeah, over 16, 17 years. Been a long time, you know.
Yeah, I remember, obviously playing, I was on the bench, I think you played some ability, but was it Tommy McLean who was particularly harsh on you, Charlie?
Oh, Tommy McLean used to terrorise me. Because I was, remember that part of that document of
Blue Heaven.
Blue Heaven, I was part of that, wasn't I? And when I signed that with my mum and dad and Jan Dirks and things like that. And when I was playing in the youth team, I was playing well in that. And I remember one time coming at Murray Park and Tom McLean absolutely annihilated me. He said, if you were chocolate, son, you'd fucking eat yourself. And I was like, I was only 16. and that was it. I just went, oh, here we go. And it was tough, like growing up with them, John Brown, John McGregor and that, but wouldn't change it for the world. It was great experience, you know what I mean?
Do you feel like you weren't given enough of a chance at Rangers, Charlie?
No, listen, I played enough games in that. I just felt that I never got a run in the team. I always played in the big games, like Celtic, Aberdeen, you know, going away to Dundee United, Hearts. I played in the big games, but never played against, you know, the ones, St Johnstone's, Motherwell's, people that aren't regular enough, and it was frustrating. But listen, that's the way it is. At that time, they were bringing in people like Kevin Thompson, and they spent a few quid on players, and it was, you know, Davis was playing centre midfield, Ferguson was still there, so listen, it was hard to get into central midfield. That's where I wanted to play. So I played most of the time on left midfield. You know what I mean?
There's nothing worse than being a centre midfield player playing wide, is there? There is nothing worse.
Graveyard shift.
Fucking hopeless, man.
I was lucky because at that time Nakamura was playing for Celtic, so I always knew that if I gave him one, he was never coming back to me. So I always tried to get Nakamura. If I can get close to him and kick him, I'd be all right. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be one of them where you're playing against, you know, Pirro or somebody like that. It's one of them. So I was lucky that way.
Slaney, you love Barry Ferguson, obviously, as your manager. Any questions for Charlie on that, young man?
Charlie, I remember when I went into Clyde, I was absolutely petrified of that man. He made my ass shake every time I went in the changing room. I really want to hear what he was like in the changing room with the boys. I know everybody knows what he was like on the pitch. He was a true winner, just like myself, Charlie. But I want to know what he was like in the changing room if somebody had a nightmare. Just you tell me all about him, Charlie, on yourself, mate.
When I was younger, Fergie was really hard on me, like as a young player. And looking back, it was probably because he felt that I was good enough to try and make it a career in the game. But every pass I gave away was always on me, and it was like, because he was the icon at Rangers, it's like you always had to please him every day in training, or you had to, in games, you know, you felt like you had the young player coming through, you had to try and pass it to him.
Charlie, did you think it was too much sometimes when he was going for you?
But listen, I see that in myself now. Like, I feel like when you're talking to younger players now, you feel like, are you just talking for the sake of talking? And, you know, are you too hard on them? But you want the best for people, and you want people to do their own potential and have the best they can in their careers. You know what I mean? So I sort of, at that time, I felt it was harsh, and, you know, it was tough. But looking back, I would never have changed it. But off the pitch, Fergie is unbelievable. As a guy off the pitch, amazing. Like, couldn't do enough for you. And, you know, in the afternoons and that, would tell the lads, come and have a beer with the lads and all that. He was good like that, you know what I mean?
What was he like on a night, Charlie? Was he a good guy with a beer, eh?
No, he was brilliant. Fergie was brilliant like that. He would, like, after training, like, some of the lads would because we were training in Mulgai, we'd nip round to the pub around the corner, and we'd have a few shandies and that after training. Him, Bolly, Bob, Griegsy, people like that, and it was good. Do you know what I mean? And he'd bring the younger lads, a couple of young ones that had been training with the first team, say, "Come around and have a couple of beers with us," and that. And it was good. It was good crack in that, and he was good off the pitch, but on the pitch, he just wanted to win.
Si.
Right.
See, when I was at Clyde, right, I had one training session. I came in the changing room and we're in, the whole changing room is there, right? And Fergie's got his arm around me and he's pointing to me like that. This guy's going to win us the league, right? But I was about fucking 14, 15 stone at this time. Sorry, boys, were like, what's he talking about? See, 2 weeks later, he took me off, right? And as I walked off, he whispered, "You fat piece of shit." So that was the mindset of Fergie. Absolute hero.
Did he ever join in tuning?
Oh, mate, unbelievable. I think I'm sure his ankle was grubbed. It was unbelievable. And sometimes I gave Fergie a wee bit of a hard time and all that. even then, he was an absolute winner. I remember as well something. I don't know if this will win, but I'll say it. Why not? I remember with Gordon Jury's son, Dukey. I played with Dukey for 3 years, and I can't remember his first name, so I'll call him Dukey. And I remember, Simon, that Dukey was playing with an injury for a year. He was trying to play through it for a year, and he played week in, week out, and he kept saying it was his hernia. He said, my hernia's gubbed. And I remember the last game of the season, he was doing the warm up, and he came into the physio room and said to the gaffer, Fergie, I can't play. It's what was it he said? He said it's too sore. So he's played all season now for Fergie and for Clyde. And I remember Fergie went like, you fucking shite bag. And that was the end of Dukey's. And I totally agree with him. He absolutely was, Simon.
His dad was a good looking boy too.
Who, Big Gordon?
Oh,
he's a good player as well.
He was a good player. Yeah, was Fergie the same with Scotland? But you were scared. You were shit scared of him as well, weren't you? What was he like training with Scotland and that?
I was shit scared of him. It's like Charlie says. It was the aura that fucking was around about him, man. You just had this massive respect for him because he was such a good footballer. And like Charlie says, when I was away with Scotland, I wasn't worried about what the manager thought of me. I was more worried about what fucking Fergie thought of me. So it was very hard to please. I tell a story, Cyber. We were on a plane back for an away trip one day, and Fergie says, sit with me at the front. So I sat down with Fergie at the front of the plane, and we were just about to take off, and I thought I'll just text my mum to say that. So I was taking off, right, as you do, you always tell your mum. And Fergie says, what the fuck are you doing? I said, just texting, Fergie. Get that fucking phone off, and you're sitting beside me.
He hates
the
flying,
phone was
didn't
fucking man, shit myself. I don't know why he wasn't too keen on the flying, but that was it, man. I was fucking trembling all the way back to Glasgow.
I don't think he was a good flyer.
Or was he not?
No, I think he was a nervous flyer, but
You could have warned me then before, Charlie. I put out my phone.
But he was brilliant as a guy, and like off the pitch, on the pitch, he was an animal, wasn't he? He just wanted to win, and he was just.
Charlie, would he even slaughter like the big hitters in that? Would he slaughter the big hitters as well? Was it?
No, really, no. He would just. No, he wouldn't really know, like the Boer and all that. He wouldn't say nothing to them. But the younger ones, because he'd come through the ranks, I think he was really hard on the young lads. But he was a top guy, and like, you know, if you ever like, you say going for a beer and that with him, spot on. Do you know what I mean? But he did cost me a few quid once. We were a pre-season with Alec McCoist, and he said. So we were on the night out. Fernando Rickson and that were there. So they had the usual spots. They were away every week, every afternoon doing what they were doing. Fernando and the Grievances and all that it was just laugh. So we had the night out, and young lads were on the trip. And so McLeish said to us, all right, lads, everybody back for 12 o'clock. Young lads got to be back at 11. So we were at about 8 o'clock or something. So we'd all have a few beers and that. And the usual one, Fergie gave it his captain. Fuck it, don't worry about the gaffer, right? We'll just text him and say we're not coming back. And we were like, you sure? He went, yeah. If there's a fine, we'll all pay it. The first team lads will pay it. And so I was probably getting I think I was on 750 quid a week at the time. So I walked in there about 1 in the morning in the hotel lobby, and McLeish sat in the corner, pitch black, nobody. He went, Adam, 2 weeks' wages, and I was absolutely gutted. So I goes up to Fergie that next day and that saying, I got fined 2 weeks' wages. So at this time, there was a text going round that the manager was sat in the hotel lobby. So the lads were going up so Griegsy and Bob and all. They were, and I think Mo Rawson and that they were all going up up through the kitchens and all that, and like they made a mess of the kitchen, up the lifts, up the stairwells and all that. And he didn't have a clue who it was. And it ended up being like the 4 young lads getting all the fines, and made it as if, and he hammered us on. And we went to Fergie and said, listen, Fergie, Gaffer's fine is 2 weeks' wages. He said, don't worry, we'll sort it out. Got to the pay slips, 2 weeks' wages gone. I said, Fergie, like, there's nothing there for, like, it took the 2 weeks. Went, well, it was your fault for being fucking late, wasn't it? He conned us all at the time. Yeah, lads, don't worry about it. And then he just shafted us for 2 weeks' wages. But, it was great. Brilliant times, you know what I mean?
Amazing, man. What, one man that you wouldn't have went for a pint with would have been Paul Le Guin. That'd be fair to say.
Well, definitely no. It was... Because just before the news broke, he was running that Sahara Desert, wasn't he, thing? And it was like all these marathons and all that. And all the lads were like, oh. So as a young lad, you're thinking, I'm going to go back pre-season fit. And to be fair, I did. So I was thinking, right, after the battle. So going in, I was thinking, right, how's this going to be? It could either be brilliant or it could be terrible. And to be fair, he was brilliant with me. I think because I'd done so well at St Mirren the season before that we got promoted and all that, he gave me an opportunity. So I'd done pre-season and he had this run pre-season. I think it might have been Bob that had told you on ages ago about it. We'd train in the afternoon at Murray Park and we'd do laps of Murray Park. So you just go and run round Murray Park and he'd be at the front. So you'd have to chase him.
Wow.
And so you've obviously got eventually, so it was him, there was me, there was the ones, Hughes, Fergie and all that were up the front, and there was obviously Bob and Griggsy and the goalies not at the back and that. So they were all just hiding and making their own routes and going different ways. And to be fair, he was good for me. He gave me an opportunity to play. I couldn't really say anything, but obviously he had the problem with Fergie and it escalated and it went mental, you know.
Slaney, can we reenact that Alex McLeish story? Can you go and turn the lights out in your room so we can see what Alex McLeish looks like in the dark?
Oh, Big Egg. He's one of my favourites. Charlie, this is for everybody, right? See, when I know some foreign managers have came to Scotland and worked, right? But I don't, even like Ronnie Dylan, when he came to Scotland, boys don't take to them. Why do you think that is? They seem to want to change the diet and stuff, and boys just don't seem to. Polygon was so successful with Leon, so why is it when they come to Scotland? I've seen it with other managers as well, foreign managers, it just doesn't seem to work. Why do you think that is?
I think is that when they come in, they just try and, Si, you've had it with DeCanio, they come in and they try and change the whole world in the space of a day. They take all your privileges away from you. We had it as well at Reading at the start of the season. A Portuguese manager, when I went in there, he took away ketchup, he took away other things, butter and all that. And I was saying, but I'd eat that at home. So what's the difference between it here and eating at home? It's at least here you can control it. And it was just it was just mental. And he come in like that and he went and I think he was trying to be tough because of the not drinking culture, but might have heard the lads like a drink and he wanted to run us. And I just think some lads, nobody likes change, do they? And when
how bad was the diet changes, Charlie? What did he get in there? What did he want?
He come in, he changed it the Ribena and that, or the Robinson juice that was on there. He changed all that, and there was salads and more salad, and there was it was different foods. And he was tough, but I really enjoyed it. I was still a young lad, so when you're younger, you sort of go with it, don't you? And the senior players, it's difficult for to change. And
is that true that he found chewing wrappers in Boydie's training shorts?
There's more of that, not just Boydie, me as well. Eating Crips and Monster Munching that. But nah, he was. I think for Boydie, everything about Boydie is he just scores goals, doesn't he? And
machine.
It's hard to change. Certain players are just the way they are, and Boydie was doing it on a Saturday. So why would you try and change it? It's different if it was affecting him. It wasn't affecting him, and it was tough. But the senior lads, they got on it straight away, and there was a clash, and it never worked,
Kev, have you the manager that's trying to change your diet?
Are you? You feel that fucking insecure every week. I'm like, Lynn, am I really that big? No, joking aside, managers come in, they try to guide you to eat the right things. But I think that's probably the one thing in my football career that I didn't ever really worry about a diet. I always felt that because you were training every day, it didn't really matter what you would eat, as long as you were replenished and had what you had. I only ever really ate, say, super healthy the Friday night before a game and the morning of the match. But apart from that, I still had all the usual fucking, because I was on my own side, I would have free Bento's pies out the fucking tin because I couldn't cook. I would do fucking packets of salt.
So did you not bother about it, Kev? Were you not bothered? Because I'm a bit I've always been sort of. The biggest problem for me is when I get a period where I'm not playing and you're still doing the same things that you were when you're playing. Because when you're playing and you're training, you think you just eat what you want, don't you? And so when you don't play, you still get in the same mode of doing the same things, and you're still eating the same things. We all love crisps or a bit of chocolate and that, and it adds up in the week. Do you know what I mean? If you're having that 3 days a week and you're not doing the same levels on a Saturday, it adds up, and sometimes you end up putting a few pounds on. And it's tough to get it off, especially the older you get, you know.
I would agree with Charlie, but I always felt that when you did get back playing, you got it off quickly. You shifted it very, very quick. I mean, when I bowled it to Rangers after being out for 18 months, McCoist says, you're not looking as sharp as I'd like. You're likely to lose a stone or two. And I was like, that's no bother. And within the space of maybe 6 to 8 weeks, I'd lost a stone and a half.
Yeah.
And felt fucking amazing. I was able to get to a size 34 waist jeans. I was fucking buzzing. I thought I was going to need to chuck them out. But no, I just diet for me was probably the one thing I look back in my career and maybe regret, that I was never ever fat until I got to no fat. I've never been really fat in my footballing time. It was just as I got older, it's harder to recover from injuries and games and stuff because your diet's all over the place and you're waking up on a Sunday morning absolutely fucking stiff as, and I'm just tucking into a wee bacon roll or a sausage and egg and whatever.
What was stiff on a Sunday morning, Kevin?
What was stiff, but obviously I had things to sort that out.
When you play on a Saturday, like on a Sunday, the first thing you think about is like you have bacon rolls or sausage sandwich Sunday. I do. That's normal. If you played on a Saturday, you know what? Even if I don't play on a Saturday, I still want to do it. That's what Sundays are all about. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I always say at the club, like even sometimes when we're at Stoke, I'd say put the lads on a sausage sandwich or a bacon sandwich before training on a Sunday if we're training on a Sunday, just to keep the spirits up, really. You know what I mean? Something different instead of eating scrambled eggs and beans or whatever they're having every day. So it's good like that. You know what I mean? There's got to be a bit of give and take, isn't there?
See, on the Canio, Charlie, when he wanted to change the diet, obviously, same as you, no ice, no butter, and he stood up and he said this, and after the Vita told us this morning, I told the boys, his words were, lads, you're not allowed to drink milk. He said, you should only drink milk from your mummy's titties when you're a wee baby.
Hey, not a bad compliment, is it?
Slaney, what about you? Were you big on the diet, young man? Because your diet is appalling.
Well, Si, that's what I'm saying. We used to always get told for a young age, don't eat it, but my skin used to always get away. Si, I used to eat bags of sweets all the time. When I came in, my face was covered in spots. So the manager always knew, mate, that I was eating sweets after sweets, mate. So my face gave it away all the time. It was absolutely devastating because I love eating sweets every day.
But you know, like the amount of cans of Monster Nut you drink, Slaney, do you think, does that, now because you're not playing, do you no bother? Or do you still try and keep yourself fit?
No, Charlie, I'm nothing but a slob now, and I just love the amount of sugar I intake is unbelievable. For my breakfast this morning, no word of a lie, I've had a can of brew and 3 crunchy bars. It's absolutely magnificent, and I am about 5 seconds away from hitting a dip and crashing down. That's the way I live my life, Charlie boy. I've got to live like that. The sugar rush will get me right up, and then when it hits me down, I'll fall down to pieces and into a wee ball, and I do not know where I'm going right now with this.
Oi, Slaney, show us your six-pack. Let's see it. How's it looking? Yeah, would you say that Paul Le Guen was the second worst Paul to take part in SPL history?
Who's that?
Paul Le Guen. Would you say he's the second worst Paul to ever take part in the SPL?
Correct. Paul Hartley was the worst. He was a shambles.
Charlie, what was the straw that broke the back for Paul Le Guen? Was it the Fergie fallout?
Yeah, that killed him. To be fair, we had a few bad results, and I think coming in and him and Fergie had the disagreement going on. I remember I was sat in the dressing room when he come in with, you know, after he pulled him in the office, and everybody was just sat there when Fergie got black bags and he was just getting his boots together, and he said, I'm not playing anymore, I'm off. And everybody was like, what? He went, the gaffers pulled me in. And I felt sorry for Gavin Ray because he got all the pressure because of, then the manager pulled him and said, by the way, you're going to be the captain. So I think it was unfair on Gav, do you know what I mean? And Fergie just disappeared, and yeah, it was always going to be, there was always going to be one winner, and David Murray had to eventually end up getting rid of the manager. You know
what was the biggest shock, Charlie, that he'd fell out with Fergie that he'd make Gavin Ray captain?
Everybody falls out with Fergie. But no, I just think he probably could have handled it better. And to be fair, when I was playing the Premier League, you know, over the last few years now, I've seen Paul Le Guen doing games and things like that, and he's always been brand new with me and great. So listen, I think he gave me an opportunity at Rangers that I probably never have got. So I owe him a lot for that. But it was just, let's say, losing your captain. It was strange.
See, when you look back on the career you've had, Charlie, and what you've done, do you think that you were good enough to play in that Rangers team every week?
At the time, Mate, listen, at the time I was probably too inconsistent, as in, I'd try and play too many long passes, or I'd try that hard pass. Listen, I've done it all my career, and you always you've got to stick and you've got to take the criticism if it doesn't come off. But I always feel that, if I do try something, it'll come off, and you might get a goal at it or whatever. But listen, to please Rangers fans, it's tough, but you've got to try and have you've got to have thick skin, and I felt that I could have handled it and get an opportunity. Yeah, I'd love to have played more, but it is what it is,
Talking of thick skin, Kev, you ever had Walter Smith?
Do you know what? I've never actually met Walter Smith.
You've never met him?
No, only when you played against Rangers would he be on the touchline, but I've never been in his company where I've actually had a conversation with a guy.
Do you remember his interview with Chet Young?
Oh, yeah. I'd be Archie Knox in the tunnel.
Oh, it's fucking genius, isn't it? I would ram up the ass.
Archie, you heard this cunt.
Chet Young must have been absolutely shaking.
See on Archie Knox, Archie Knox was a scary guy as well, Charlie, wasn't he? Did he come with Walter now?
No, he wasn't there when I with Walter. No, I think he was at Aberdeen at the time. But Archie, I've met Archie a few times over the years, and Durante speaks a lot highly of him. And they're all that 9-in-a-row team. They're massive together. Do you know what I mean? But he's an Archie's. Speak to Archie about football. It's incredible. He knows everything. He's brilliant. He is an unbelievable guy, but a coach is very good coach as well.
See, just on Walter Smith, the reason I'm asking is I seen you tweeting Tom the other day when you were keeping the ball off Celtic and you did the no-look pass. Did Walter Smith hammer you after a game for it?
Hammered, or come in, boot the tactics board, crucified me. So I don't know if you've ever been in the dressing room at Ibrox where the first team dressing room, walk in, big square. So I'm sat 3 away from Fergie, and we obviously won the game and everybody's celebrating, buzzing, beat Celtic and all that. And he come in and he went, you cunt. You think you're a player, do you? And I was like, what? He went, these no-look passes thinking you're a player. He says, we're Rangers. We don't take the piss at anybody. And I was like, but he was angry and he kicked the board, tactics board and everything. He destroyed me. And I was like, I thought I was brilliant as well on the day. Do you know what I mean? Come from one minute, I was like so high, and the next minute he come through and he crucified me. But listen, it is what it is, and it's a learning curve, you know what I mean? And
Charlie, was he the scariest manager you've ever had?
Walter Smith? Nah, Craig Levine.
Was he?
Oh, he's another one that hammered me. With a Scotland cap, I got absolutely battered from him one night against Spain, in Spain. We were getting beat 2-0, come in, and at half-time he went berserk. He went, you might never play for this country again. And I was like, Craig Levine was unbelievable. But I really like Craig Levine. I know he's hard and all that, but I like a manager to be honest and open, and it didn't matter if you played for Liverpool or you played for St Mirren. Everybody should be treated the same when you're away with Scotland, and that's how I felt he was. He was brilliant at it, you know what I mean?
Wow, what about that with Levine, eh? Did you Levine?
I'll tell you.
Hey, sorry, I'm needing somebody to fucking give some Craig Levine scary stories, surely. He must be the next fucking target.
Yeah, there's somebody out there's got loads of Craig Levine stories. He's mental.
I'll tell you who isn't scared of him. Mikey Stewart.
Mate, Mikey Stewart's going to box the lungs off him. Did you see him hitting that punch bag? Oh, by the way, Levine's meant to be proper hard, isn't he?
Oh, he is. People have told me stories about him, knocking people clean out in the tunnel and all that.
Wow.
Back in the day, mental. But great guy, I really enjoyed when he was at Scotland.
Charlie, was he ever horny in the changing room?
Well, he had history that way, didn't he? So
Charlie, sometimes it always comes across me the angry ones are the ones you need to watch. And I said that the other day, I believe Craig Levine's another one that will roll at a bear when he comes. So I don't want to get into all that.
Roar like him.
I think he's in another day.
Oh, fuck.
Walter Smith, McCoist being mum, Charlie. See, Walter Smith caned you, would Coisty then come up to you and be the good guy, or would Coisty cane you as well?
I sort of had a love-hate relationship with Coisty. Coisty's Coisty, and he's you love him and that, and he's brilliant for everything he does. But the reason, going to the story later on about the Youth Cup final, the reason I got injured was because I tried to smash him in a boxer, You know, like...
Smash Ali McCoist?
Smashed. I tried to smash him. Ask any of the lads and they'll tell you, Kenny Miller or not, they'll tell you, we're playing little boxes, 7v2 and that, and McCoist used to wind you up and that, try and meg you and all that. And I said to the lads one day, I'm going to have him in the box. And he went, no, you won't. So eventually there was this one, just 6 weeks before the Youth Cup final, I said, I'm going to have him. So I went to get him. And I ended up doing my knee. And I was in pieces. So I was close to, obviously, when it came out, I was going to miss all the rest of the season, miss the Youth Cup final. But that was the reason I done my knee, because I overstretched for him. I tried to take him out and I missed him. And I ended up on a stretcher going past Murray Park and that. And he was like, I was in tears crying, thinking that's my season over and that. And he's like fucking laughing and joking and that. And I was thinking, if you knew that I was just trying to get you, you'd be laughing and joking. But Coisty, he's a great guy, you know what I mean? It's funny.
So then, are you going to take Coisty's title in the media, I think?
Oh, mate, he's an absolute darling, isn't he? Everybody just loves him. But what happened, Charlie? Is there any funny stories with McCoist, like when you were there, anything he done, or any wee pranks you could tell us about? Because I'm obsessed with the man.
Coisty. The thing is, he never the big thing about Coisty is he was everybody's mate, wasn't he? So assistant manager, so him, Griggsy, Kenny Miller, Pip the physio, they'd all sit play Hearts every week on the bus, and all you could hear is Griggsy, Coisty all shouting and who's won and I've got the best hand and all that. And Coisty was just a laugh and a joker and that, but no, there was no really any pranks or anything like that.
He's one-liners, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just his one-liners. He always kept the group going. Him and Kenny McDowell. You know Kenny well, don't you, Si? So it was just brilliant. I thought Kenny as a coach was brilliant. As a guy as well was different class. So no, they were a good group together when Durante as well. So it was fun, you know. But no, there was no stories really about McCoist.
Charlie, see when McCoist became the manager, did you think he could be the manager, the number one?
I thought it was going to be hard for him because of. He had all the lads in the dressing room as the assistant manager. He was more of like a mate to the lads, you know what I mean, and having a laugh and a joke. And I think sometimes, as a manager, you've got to cross that line and say, listen, I need to be serious at some point. And I don't think Coisty can be serious. Do you know what I mean? The way he is. It's just his nature. But he done a job that what Rangers were meant to do. When it got back up the leagues, and he done that. And in the end, I think just, you know, he had to walk away with everything that was going off the pitch, you know.
See, Kenny McDowell, Charlie, when we were in the reserves, we were training one day and the first team were training next to us and the first team had finished and Big Sutty came over and he was standing for like 2 or 3 minutes watching training and he shouts, "Oi, Ken!" And Kenny McDowell stops training and looks over, he says, "What is it, big man?" He says, "You're fucking wasting your time with that lot, they're shit, none of them will make it." And Kenny McDowell goes, "Do you know what? You're probably fucking right, Sutty, and you's get lads."
but that's a coach. He's like coaches banter and that was like Coisty, like
amazing man.
You know, I knew Kenny obviously from when I was. And I used to play for Celtic at under 14 level. So I was in with like Paul Lawson, Ross Wallace, and people like that, Marshy, and you know. So I'd played with them for a year, and then. So obviously Kenny was in and around a bit. He was good, Kenny. He was a good coach, very good coach, but no, he's a good guy.
Charlie, was Gardine about? Sorry, Slaney.
No, it's okay.
No, I never. No, Midge was younger than me, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, but no, I remember people ask me, but remember when you got to Lockheed Park and trained with Sean and that? Yeah. So we all used to go up there. I was telling people all day, you wouldn't realise how, like we had nothing. All we had was a fence with that little box, wasn't it, above the door, and we'd just try and shoot that at shooting practice and that. And Fozzie and that were just, Fozzie was just stronger and bigger than everybody else, wasn't he? He used to just bully us all. But
the standard was a joke though, mate. It
was unbelievable. Me, you, Fifey, Ross Wallace, Fozzie, and it was brilliant. Gardine. It was that was good.
Was it hard? UEFA Cup final? Was it hard missing out? Were you told you wouldn't be starting?
When I got the injury and coming back, obviously I'd been in Fiorentina for I think it was the semi-final Fiorentina, wasn't it? And,
yeah.
I'd just come off crutches then, and I didn't think I was going to be fit for the final, but I made it, and I was on the bench, so I was actually buzzing I was on the bench. But when you get involved and you obviously sat on the bench and everybody's at the game, mum and dad, sister, brothers and all, I was thinking, I might get on, because I'd played quite a lot of the Champions League games and the UEFA Cup games as well, so I was thinking I might get on and that. But he made the subs and he brought Boydie on, Nacho and Lee McCulloch on, so listen, it was disappointing not to get it, but it was that was great to be there.
What's he like on the side, Charlie? See, when you're a sub and does Watersmith go off? He's not on the side, or is he quite calm?
No, he is quite calm, but he used to, when the first half he used to sit upstairs, didn't he?
I remember that.
And he'd come down at like half time, and then second half he'd watch from the side. But he'd go mental on the touchline, but in the dressing room, if he wasn't happy, he'd say what he wasn't happy about. It didn't matter who it was, if it was Fergie or it was Nacho or anybody, he'd have a go. I think the only one
Charlie, tell me if you sorry.
I think probably the only one he wouldn't have really had to go at would be Pedro Mendes. He loved Pedro. Like,
what a player!
He was his man. They used to love him. Pedro, Durante, McCoist, and that, they used to love Pedro. He was quality, like. But him and Dave were the only two I don't think I've ever had Walker shout at. But everybody else, he'd hammer them. You know what I mean? But in a good way. Do you know what I mean? If they wouldn't have pulled them away, it was good.
Mate, see, when you hear their names like Pedro Mendes, Steve Davis, Barry Ferguson, trying to get in the head of them is fucking tough, man.
It is really tough, but like I was lucky growing up, and when I was 15, 16, getting into Murray Park and being full time, I always had a thing where you talk about going up to the gym at Celtic Park and that. Well, when I used to finish, we used to train earlier in the first team. So when I was younger, I used to get in from training. I used to get in the gym, no day any gym work, as you can see, and I'd go and sit and watch the first team training, and like everybody would be like in the gym and all that and doing whatever they're doing, but I would always go and sit and watch first team. So at the time when I first went to Advocat, was the manager, and then it was McCoist, so I'd be watching like De Boer and Arteta when he was really young, coming on loan from PSG, of Barcelona, Rickson, Averladze, all of them, and I'd just watch the training, see how they trained, and just try and take things to them. And then the coaches used to come in and say, "You're always in here, get out of here," and that. And say, "What are you doing?" Like, you always want to be around the first team. So when I was young, I would always want to be around the first team. Do you know what I mean? In Jimmy Bell's room, kit room all the time, having a banter with him. But I just wanted to learn and try and be around the first team, because at the end of the day, I wanted to be there, get there. And that's how lucky, even like when they played Dundee and Dundee United, I would go and help with the hampers and the kits and the boots and that, just to be around the first team and just trying to learn the best things from them, and it was brilliant.
Kev, see your Jimmy Bell story went viral, didn't it?
Oh, it went mental, didn't it?
That's fucking, he's coming for me there a bit, eh?
What, with the shorts? Did you see that?
I know, it's fucking shocking. There's no way Jimmy Bell's ever sent a text message in his fucking life. So I see the top of the screen dropped out. So for Josh Windass to come for me, that's me and Josh Windass finished. He can go fuck himself.
Did you see the picture of Windass shoot rollerblading the other day?
Ah,
mate, he needs to get a life, that boy.
I can't believe he's on before me.
I know, Charlie, I'm actually thinking that we need to delete Josh Windass's interview off the archives. The guy's a fucking joke. He's an embarrassment. Me and him's done. Me and him fucking done. He's trying
I think your man Slane put him up to it, by the way.
He's got
If I would do such a thing, mate. That was pure for Josh Windass.
It was poor, but it was funny. So we'll just go with it.
Charlie, just you have a cup final again. Looking back, do you feel like you should have got on? Obviously, the type of player you are, set pieces could have.
Yeah, you do. You always think when you're sat on the bench, you always think you're the one that could change the game, do you? So to be able to get an opportunity in the Youth Cup final, you never know what would happen. But we got back with that tonight. Zet and it were unbelievable, weren't they?
Oh, what a teammate! Who was the Ukrainian boy sent on the pitch?
Timashek, Arshavin, Rickson played. They were brilliant, weren't they? The goalie from what was it called? I can't remember.
Right, Charlie, you leave Rangers. Was it a sad day leaving Rangers?
It was tough because I'd been there 6 years growing up, but obviously coming through the academy there and playing the first team, it was tough to leave. And one thing that sticks in my mind is David Murray once said to me, "When you leave Rangers, it's a step backwards," and that always stuck with me. Sometimes you need a disappointment in your life to take a step backwards to come again. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I tried to do when I went to Blackpool. And lucky for me, it worked out.
Were you sad when you left Rangers? In all seriousness?
No, and that's not being like disrespectful towards Rangers. It's just I didn't have the greatest time at Rangers that I would like to have hoped. I had expectations of having the year that I had, try and score some goals, do quite well, get another year, and then just try and get a year to year, and then maybe try and help lead them back to the Premier League at the time. But unfortunately, get an injury halfway through my time at Rangers, and that kind of put the end to my career. So I was kind of satisfied to kind of leave, because it was just one bad injury after another, and I just wanted to get away, and it made me, I had a great experience of having to say that I fucking played for Glasgow Rangers, you know. I've drove by Ibrox many a time with the kids in the car and said, I've played in there, and it's a great thing to say, you know what I mean? It's, we all know my background side, but I fucking was sad to leave.
Why don't you do a couple of weeks do what Defoe done and just turn up at the door and say, listen, can I go and stand on the pitch and kiss the grass and that again?
No, I wouldn't do that, no, Charlie. I'd rather, no, I'm not that keen to go back to Ibrox in a hurry. It's not against Rangers whatsoever, but it's just, it was what it was. It'll be on my CV, and it's a part of my career that I'm never ashamed about. I just wish it had maybe been a bit better.
Why is Defoe doing that? He's a 35-year-old man. What's he doing? What is he wanting the fans to love him?
No, I just think
he's really a bad. On you go, Charlie. You fire on.
I just think, like, when he probably first signed, the lads in England don't realise how big Rangers and Celtic are. These are worldwide clubs. You know, everybody disses Rangers and Celtic as the league's pish and all that, but when really the clubs are humongous, and you know they're bigger than as big a clubs in the English Premier League. It's just because of the league they're playing in. Everybody thinks that it's easy. You know, it's no easy playing in Scotland. It's tough. You know, every game's a battle. I don't know. Obviously, I've not been there a few years now, so I wouldn't if the standards dropped to that. But when I was playing, there was tough teams like your Motherwells and Kilmarnocks and that. There were tough games. You know what I mean? And
Charlie, is there more pressure playing for Rangers or Liverpool? There you go. There's a question.
No, I think there's pressure playing for both. I think there's, you know, when you play at big clubs, there's pressure. It doesn't matter if it's Rangers, Celtic, Man United. You know, these big clubs need to win every game. You need to be the best. They need the best players to be playing there. And if you don't win every week, you know, everybody thinks you're not good enough. And you know, that's the thing about these big clubs. You need to win every week because they want to win trophies.
Oh, by the way, what about the Al Pacino t-shirt there? Let's see that.
You talking to me?
What was that?
Is that what he says? You talking to me? I don't know if that's him, is it?
Oh, he's a Scarface impression. Oh no, you are Scarface, sorry.
Mate, my dad does that. See, every time he's drunk, he does a Tony Montana impersonation, eh? No one
what did he say?
What was he always comes in and says? That is what he says. He always comes in and says to my ma, are you talking to me?
Right, Charlie, why did you go to Blackpool? I was a bit shocked, I'll be honest. I was a bit shocked when you went to Blackpool.
I only went to Blackpool because at the time I was going to go to Preston. Preston wanted me to go. Alan Irvine was the manager there. And it was, when I was at Rangers, they said it was £500,000 to go. And at the time, I'd obviously been on loan at Blackpool. And at the time, we knew that the Oystons wouldn't pay the £500,000. We felt it was going to be too much. And Alan Irvine was saying, we can only pay £400,000 Preston. And I said, right, okay, I was going to go because they had like Ross Wallace and all that were all there and a few Scottish lads. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll go there and no problem. And obviously, turn out the blue, got a phone call from me and all. They said, listen, Blackpool have said they'll pay the £500,000 and do you want to come? I said, yeah, all right, okay. So I went back there and I signed and had a chat with Ollie and just said that, you know, if you do come, you know, I'll, you know, try and get you in the Premier League because I think that's where you should be playing. And I went for it and it went and it happened, you know.
Ian Holloway, Kev, what a hero.
So he's the one manager I think in my time as a footballer that I never ever got to meet, but I would love to have worked under him. Like apart from the personality and the character, apparently he's a great coach and a great footballer, man. So
unbelievable.
I like some of his interviews he's done. I like the fact that he's succeeded in football after playing. I think he deserved that. So no, Charlie's going to obviously fill us in with a few, hopefully some entertaining Ian Holloway stories, Charlie.
Every day was entertaining with him. That was the problem.
Aye.
Just like when I went there, it was always one of these where it's Jekyll and Hyde. 1 minute he could be high as a kite, the next minute he could be as low as a snake's belly. So it's how you get him in the day. And we'd go in, and I don't know.
That sounds like somebody I know, by the way.
You must be drinking too many monsters, that boy.
I don't know if you know, but I think he's got 3 kids and they're deaf. You know that they're deaf?
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so 3 kids are deaf, and he had this philosophy that he's going to change football, and like, you know, he'd been watching Swansea play in Barcelona and Real Madrid, and he's just going to put them all together, and that's how we were going to play. So we'd go in training some days, and like we'd go in at 9 o'clock, 9:30, and we'd not be training at 12 o'clock, and we'd still be talking about meetings, like about his kids and, you know, about life and what's going on in the news, and we hadn't even talked about football. He just, like, for 2 hours we'd just have a meeting on nothing really, and the lads would be sat there thinking, oh, what is going on here? Like, so eventually we'd go out and train, and you talk about, like, you know, we're going to about having a freedom to play and that, but we had a structure and how we wanted to play, and everything was just, you know, if one of the fullbacks got the ball, I had to be in a certain position to switch the play, and the other winger had to stay high and didn't need to track back and things like that. So we had a philosophy how we wanted to play, but then we'd come back in for training, and he'd just set another meeting up for no reason, and we'd just start talking about something else that had gone on during the session, and he would just rabbit on, and it was like 2-3 o'clock before lads were leaving training ground, and half the time was probably over nothing. Do you know what I mean? But going into the games and that, you knew what you were talking about. He had a way of playing, and we were just lucky that at the time we had some good players that, you know, were happy to be playing. And the thing about Blackpool is, I think everybody's played for Blackpool at some point in their career, and that's the thing. That was the thing that they had. Anybody that was out of contract knew they'd get a club, and they'd end up at Blackpool because they'd sign anybody. Do you know what I mean? You know, it didn't matter who you were, they'd sign.
Funny you say that, Charlie. See, when I was at Coventry 2009 and I was leaving, guess who came in for me? Back in Blackpool.
Yeah. Honestly, everybody at some point, Blackpool wanted to sign them, just because at that time the owner didn't care, just wanted to sign players, and it doesn't matter what you've done in the back past or whatever, he just sign players. So listen, it was that type of club, and over the years it's changed now, but it's it was a great time. And we had a story one time that we'd come in, and he said, right lads, we're not training today, and I was like, fuck, not again, do you know what I mean? So we'd go in, and he'd say, right lads, we're watching a movie. So where we used to train was like Fylde Rugby Club. So we'd go upstairs, we'd sit and watch a movie, and there was popcorn and that, everything like that. We'd go upstairs and we'd sit and watch Coach Carter. So it lasts 2.5 hours, this film. And at the end of it, the lads have watched it and they're thinking, oh yeah, okay, brilliant, finished and that. He switched the light on in tears, crying his eyes out, like saying, lads, this is what it means to you, you know, this is what football means to you, this is how we should be, and this is how I am as a coach, and this is what you all mean to me. So, you know, I want the best for you. And he's rolling and crying and all, and other lads are like, fuck, you know, no again, all day, do you know what I mean? But he was amazing. And to be fair, we all speak now, we're in a group chat together, so he pops up now and then.
But nobody that says that he put 11 liquor bottles out, and that was a team.
Yeah, so we played. We had Christmas Day off, and we got told to meet the hotel at Derby, and we didn't know the team. And we were having pre-match, and he said, "Right, lads, if you go in there's a teddy bear in the formation. That's the formation, and if your name's underneath the teddy bear, you're playing. If you know, the rest is the subs. So we'd all go in this room, look, check. He's like, right, okay." So, no, this is what he said. He said, right, lads, and if you've got your names there with a teddy bear, make sure you take the teddy bear at the game with you. So we had to pick the teddy bears up, take them on the busways, and sit them beside us at the game at Derby. We won the game 2-0 and that, and it was just things like that. It was brilliant, you know what I mean? But his missus used to come on the coach. His missus used to come everywhere with him on the coach. So, like, home game, away game, on the coach, she'd be there every week, and it was brilliant.
Was she decent? Yeah, sorry, Slaney.
Did you ever play against any Holloway's team side?
Nah, I don't think so, mate. Don't think so.
He was brilliant, like, talking about, like, with Kev and that, like, obviously it was in the Championship, but we played majority of the time, because we're Blackpool, we're going, like, Portsmouth, or we're going away journeys. No matter what, we'd stop fish and chips, beers on the bus, like, every week. Like, he loved it. We beat Plymouth near the end of the season to get to the playoffs, and we stopped off at this little spar next to the stadium, and there was fans everywhere. And he just tripped all the lads in there, and he said, right, lads, get over here. So lads were walking out crates of Budweiser, Stellas and all that. And we were falling off the bus. We went straight to Sanook in Blackpool in the town centre, and the lads were just, honestly, twice a month, the lads would be straight off the bus into town, twice a month on away trips. It was brilliant.
And would he come out with you, Charlie?
Nah, he wouldn't really come out with us. We'd have days, instead of training some days, we'd just end up we'd go to the casino and we'd play cards or we'd play poker and that instead of training. And then, or we'd just go and train on the beach one day just because we couldn't train on the pitches. And he was just always thinking, do you know what I mean? He was just trying to keep the spirit of the lads. And spirit is massive for me. I think if you've got a good team spirit, it's half the battle, you know.
Danny Wilson, it's when we used to do that, just cancel training, we go for a walk, bacon rolls.
Oh,
and then on the way back to the lake, and he's like, right, every cunt in the lake, and I need to jump in the lake and then like fucking walk home soaking, man. I used to love stuff like that. It's team bonding, isn't it?
We, like I say, once a month or something, we say no training day, lads. We walk to the cafe, right? So all the workers and that, road workers and the electrician that were in the cafe, and we'd all walk in, 25 of us just walk in, fry-ups and all that, cups of coffee and that, tea. Then we'd go back and we'd do the team for the weekend and that, and he would just, and even on a Friday, he wouldn't care. This would be a Friday. And we'd go in and just like go and have a fry-up and that in the games, but it was just, we were just lucky at work.
Did you just tell me you got McDonald's on a Friday as well? Do you know you used to get McDonald's? Oh,
yeah, we'd, so sometimes we'd, obviously, after training, the food was horrendous at the training ground, right? So we'd come in and honestly, we had this lasagna and there was more oil on the lasagna than there was lasagna. It was disgusting, the food, right? So, lads, we're not eating that. So by the time we got onto the bus at the stadium, Matt Williams was the club secretary and that. So he'd go and get like KFC or McDonald's and that. The lads would have that on a Friday going to away games, eating KFC and that. And it was just...
In the Premier League?
In the Premier League and also in the Championship.
Wow. That's amazing, that is tremendous, man.
I don't think that happens at all anymore.
It doesn't, because I used to, like, when I first signed for Blackpool and I met my missus, and I wasn't driving at the time, so she used to drive me to training and I used to have, like, go to McDonald's on the way to training, like porridge and sausage and muffins and all that, and egg McMuffins and everything like that in the Championship. And honestly, I just played and enjoyed it, and it was like, it worked, do you know what I mean? And lads, it was brilliant. We just had a great school with darts and pool and the training. Honestly, if they blew the training ground up, it'd probably look better.
Would you just go like to the proper, like, dirty, naughty parts of Blackpool, because it is quite pure touristy, isn't it?
This time of year, normally we'd go on, like, it's called the scum run. So basically, you start at one end of the prom and you'd go on every boozer down Blackpool. So that would have been this weekend as well, Easter weekend, bank holiday. We would have been doing that if it was open.
Well, was Seamus Coleman there, Charlie?
Seamus signed. Seamus signed that summer as well for Everton. He was brilliant. Just young lad coming from Ireland. Obviously Everton signed 50 grand David Moyes, and we got him on loan, and he come in and he was brilliant. But like I say, talk about it, having nights out and that. The lads, even like on Sunday, we'd go and watch Super Sunday. And I don't know if you've been to Lytham. We'd go to Lytham quite a bit.
Lytham's lovely.
So we'd go and sit in the boozer in there and have a few pints. And at the time we signed Andy Reid in the Premier League, and he's good in the guitar, Andy Reid. Yeah. So he'd go and his missus would drop his guitar off at like 6 o'clock after all the Fitbit thing, and he'd have like a sing song for all the lads and all the customers in the bar, and we'd all be singing Oasis and all that. It was brilliant. But the lads they got on really well. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Mate, that sounds unbelievable. I mean, I genuinely think I would have excelled in a team like that. That would have been fucking amazing. Eh? You'd have actually been buzzing every day to go into training and have a laugh with the boys. Charlie, that sounds magic, mate.
No, it was. But Slaney, even like when you were younger, when you're at Motherwell or Celtic, you used to go like trash on a Tuesday and things like that.
Well, Charlie, see, this is see, when I was at Motherwell, it was like a family, right? And we would go at night shooting. It was amazing. It was generally like a family, we have a laugh. But when I went to Celtic, that totally changed.
Yeah, I think it's no professionalism. It's just like, I think there's different cultures and different people in it.
There's a lot of boys came from, like, obviously different countries and that, and they didn't have a clue what I was trying to say. So I absolutely loved my time at Motherwell, and that's what I'm saying. That it was. I actually think that was when I was at my best, when I was comfortable in a changing room. It was like a family. When I went to Celtic, you had 4 foreigners in the corner, hated my guts, and it just was never going to work.
Oh, do you want to make the announcement on Seamus Coleman? Put pressure on him, Slaney.
Well, Charlie, we're about to go down to the Everton Training Centre to meet Big Dunk and Seamus Coleman, aren't we, Kevin?
We sure are, Paul. Seamus Coleman, I heard by the text that were forwarded on, is a big fan of the show. but he says with everything going on in the news, a wee bit sceptical of coming on speaking to the Slain Dog. So we will just put him at ease and just say the Slain Dog will take it easy on him. So Seamus...
Seamus Coleman actually said he was scared of Slaney.
He's a great lad. You know, he'll have a few good stories and that. He is a great lad. But imagine if you... Don't upset Big Dunk now.
Oh. Have you met him, Charlie?
Only he was young. Like, obviously, I've heard the stories, but my dad used to speak about him a lot when he was youngster and said he was untouchable. He was unbelievable as a player and that. But everybody, I'd obviously known from playing against Everton and things like that. And he's meant to be a right gentleman. Do you know what I mean? And he's a top guy. But he'll have a few stories over the years because he'll be able to go into what happened at Rangers and everything else. You know what I mean? But you don't want to burgle his house either, do you?
Oh. Imagine you told you, Slaney. How good would that be?
Mate, imagine we were doing a podcast, right, doing the training centre, and while he was talking, I just ran round and jumped his back and started choking him.
Why don't you? Why don't you walk in with a set of boxing gloves on?
Mate, that'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Tremendous, man. Right, Charlie, you're at Blackpool. When do you think, like, I'm ripping this up? What was it that made that? Was it just Holloway giving you that freedom to go and do what you liked?
No, I never had the freedom to do what people think I did. I was just lucky that I played with good players around me. Listen, in teams, everybody's got their own strengths, isn't they? Do you know what I mean? Like your Keith Southerns and that, who were workhorses. They would get the ball and get it to myself and David Vaughan. People like Craney, who was just, he was a brilliant player, Stephen Craney. Do you know what I mean? He was
he an animal, Charlie?
Animal. He was the one that epitomised the whole club. Like he'd graft. You wouldn't know now. You will not see him now. But at the time, he was healthy. He wouldn't do anything. He loved to drink and that, but he was like on it. If he had a drink the next day, he'd be running and all that. He was just the ultimate professional. He set the tone really, and he was brilliant. We had good lads, and everybody knew their jobs, and it was great. Do you know what I mean? We had good players that could win us games.
Right, Charlie, I want to ask you about the playoff final. Did you sleep the night before it?
Not yet. No problem. I shared the room with Stephen Crane the night before it, so that was always my roommate. I used to share with him every game and every away trip. So we slept fine. So it was it was brilliant. But on the day it was roast and all. It was a great experience, you know.
And then that free kick against Big Marshy, wasn't it?
I know. I heard him talking about it the other week. He never gave it justice, did he?
Nah, he never actually played it down, didn't he?
He did play it down. To be fair, I'm lucky. I've got a couple against Marseille. I dinked him once, right? 6'7" he is, and he got dinked on his line. For my first goal for Blackpool against Norwich, put it on YouTube and you'll see it. He actually got chipped on his line.
Wow, I love that. See when you hit that free kick, do you know it's in straight away?
Once it got over the wall, I knew Marseille wasn't getting it. It was too much of a gap, and I knew once I'd got in there, it was just scoring at Wembley was unbelievable. You know, everybody there, and I never enjoyed the occasion as much as I should have. Like, you know, it was just.
Did you know teams watching you in that game? Did you know there was like teams obviously?
No, I wasn't. Because the thing is, when I signed for Blackpool in the January, I was Middlesbrough tried to sign me. Strachan tried to sign me in the January for £2 million for Middlesbrough, and I wanted to go. I'm fucking glad I never went now. But through the season, I had a couple of clubs that wanted me, and then come that summer that we'd signed, nobody come in for me. It was only until the January, after I played in the Premier League, that clubs started to come in. And to be fair, there wasn't many clubs that come in, which in hindsight, I was like, it's quite surprising. When Liverpool come in, you think you might have 5 or 6 options. When it comes down to it, I probably only had, you know, Liverpool and Tottenham were the only serious ones that wanted to do something. So it was, listen, I knew I wanted to go to Liverpool as soon as they come in for me, you know.
Then you remember what Fergie said about him?
Oh, it was something about the corners, wasn't it? £10 million corners or something, Si?
You paid £10 million for his corners?
Mate, honestly, I wish he'd said that about me, because my corners were fucking hopeless.
Fucking hell. Right. That story you told me about Morgan when he told you to bring the corners in, brilliant.
You never heard anything about that, Charlie? Honestly, I'm sitting dinking balls in fucking for the 6-yard line.
To be fair, see hitting set pieces on the day before a game. I've hardly seen anyone that can do it on the money the day before a game, and then it comes to a game and they can do it.
One of the best stories that I could tell you, and I swear my kids like this is what happened, right? Peter Whittingham was like scoring all the goals for Cardiff, free kicks. His set plays were unbelievable, and we were worried about him like setting free kicks and that. So the day before the game, we trained near Watford. We trained on this pitch, public park probably. Wouldn't surprise me with Blackpool. So the bus was over there, and we were hitting free kicks and that, and they were. So I've just walked up after the training and finished, hit a free kick, and I bent this one in the top corner, like identical to the one I hit the following day, right? I walked up, hit it, top corner, and I've walked straight onto the bus shouting to the lads, listen, don't worry about Peter Whittingham, the big man's here, right? Walked straight on the bus, sat down, and the lads come on the bus and clapped me when I got on the bus. Like, just like, what happened there? I just walked off, shouted what I shouted, never said a word again. And then the following day, I'd done exactly the same free kick. And it was incredible that, like you say, the amount of people that did it on a Friday that kind of did it on a Saturday, it's just amazing. But it was lucky for me, both days, Friday, Saturday, was just exactly.
Was you on the Saturday? See, when you got the free kick on the Saturday, did you think training the day before? Did that come into your head? Absolutely,
yeah. I visualised. I always do a thing in the game. Before a game, I visualise what's going to happen in the game. And I think, right, if this happens, I'm going to be doing that, or this is what should happen. And it's just, I've always done it with my career, and I knew that I was in this position. I thought, right, what did I do? What I done yesterday? I done the exact same work, step out, routine, everything like that. And luckily for me, I went in the top corners. For me, the best goal I've ever scored.
Magic, Charlie, magic, mate.
What a feeling!
Did you used to visualise Slaney?
Sorry, I was about to say something absolutely horrific there, but I better not say it, mate.
Go on, say it.
Charlie, can I just ask you something I've been really, really wanting to know for? See, when you and Stephen Kenny were in the room together, what sort of things did you get up to?
Oh, fuck. We'd have a bit of... Listen, we'd walk a bit bollock. Don't worry about that. There would be none of that. Normally on a Friday, we'd have a few... There'd be late night racing at the Wolverhampton or something like that, so we'd have a few bets on the room. And, yeah, I'd have to make him a cup of tea because I was the youngest one, But, yeah, we'd have a great laugh. Good times.
Heroes used to.
Right, Liverpool lads. Who phoned you, Charlie? Kenny Dalglish?
No, my agent called me saying that Liverpool had been in, and at the time Damien Comolli was the director of football, and I was like, okay, now I want to go there. Like, obviously Kenny was the manager, and we'd played Liverpool. Torres' last ever game for Liverpool was in the January, and I've got his shirt that I managed to swap with him in. And after that game, they come in for me and said, listen, we want to take you. So I was like, fucking hell, I want to get in there. So I was like in kicking the door down at the Oystons. I went, trained at Blackpool. I'd train, and then this was the last day of the window. So it'd been going on for ages. Like, I'm not letting you go and everything like that. And it was frustrating. This was the last day of the window, and I went. So I said to the manager, I said, listen, we started training 10 minutes in, and it was like getting me nervous, and like I was getting worked up, and I went, fuck this, I'm not accepting this. So I walked off training pitch, just walked straight off, told him, I said, I'm going to sit in chairman's office. And he went, he won't let you go. I said, fuck this. So my missus at the time, come and pick me up, drove to the stadium, dropped me off. My agent was on his way down for Scotland. And I said, listen, I'm sitting in his office. I'm sitting in the stadium. I'm not leaving until this contract's on the table. I sat in my full gear, Blackpool training gear, from about 11:30 till 10 o'clock at night. Never moved. I said, bang on his door, saying, I want to go. You're not going. I am going. You're not going. Liverpool offered £4 million or something like that. Wasn't enough at the time, do you know what I mean? And I could see the point of view, but it was going to be worth more than if they get relegated. So it never happened. And then I walked in the next day. And to be fair, the lads were brilliant with me, because they were saying, listen, you need to go and see the team. You need to go and sit in his office. You need to try and get this move, because the lads were buzzing for you know what I mean? And they knew it was life-changing. And so I just went and sat in the office, come back. Next day, come in, and to be fair, the lads were brilliant with me and just said, listen, don't worry about it, you'll get a move in the summer, just keep playing. The manager was the same, just say, keep scoring goals and playing well, you'll get a move. And for me, it happened in the summer,
Slaney, Charlie went to Kenny Dalglish's house, he was sitting in his pyjamas. How good's that?
Watching the Masters.
Oh, wow. So you were sitting in the house with Kenny, what were you saying to each other?
No, nothing. So when I got my agents picked me up, gone to his house and that. So I was so nervous driving over Southport. I think, right, what do I say to him in that? So not just leave it to me. So I've gone in his house, he's opened the door in his pyjamas, slippers and that, and his t-shirt. So I've gone in his house and he went, So I went to sit down and that, and he went, "Do you want a cup of tea and that and coffee?" I said, "Yeah, all right, okay." He went, "My missus has been on holiday for a week or so, but tea and coffee's in the kitchen. You make the coffees and the teas and that." He said, "And if you look in the biscuit drawer, I'm not sure how long they've been in there, but they might be out of date, so just leave them." So I was sat there like thinking, this can't be right. So eventually he's come in, makes a cup of tea and that, and we sit down and talk about it. And I must have been in there for about an hour and a half, and I think over the whole piece he spoke to me for about 15 minutes. The rest of it he just sat watching the Masters, and I was sat looking at my agent like, like, because he loves his golf and that, I was sat looking at my agent like, what's this conversation about? And when we got out there, I said to him, we never even spoke. He just said, yeah, he just wanted to see you and like make sure you're all right, and like,
that's amazing, eh?
Yeah, just like small detail, like just to make sure that the whole disappointment of what happened in the January hadn't affected me and that. And he was brilliant. Just said, listen, we want to get you. We'll get the deal done. And then for me,
that must have been surreal, Charlie. Was it no?
Oh, it was unbelievable. Like Kenny Dalglish, like obviously we're all Scottish and that, and it was just legend. You know what I mean? But
that was like Big Lee McCulloch's story when he had to drive Murray Park to Ibrox with Walter Smith. He's like, "What the fuck do you say, man?"
Well, so when I obviously went, so then I'd gone. I was obviously still contracted to Blackpool and having to do pre-season and all that. I was done pre-season, and then they were obviously having a conversation. Blackpool and Liverpool were having a conversation, and they got to a point where there was D-Day. The deal was happening, it wasn't happening. So Damien Camoli and the secretary of the club was meeting Matt Williams, the secretary, and Carol Oyston at the Preston Marriott. And I was sat in my house, and I was saying to my missus, I was saying like, "Fucking hell, if this does not happen, I don't know what I'm going to do." Stupid dog. And so eventually I got the call saying, "Deal's done, they agreed, you can go and sign for Liverpool." And I was just, a whole relief was amazing, do you know what I mean? And then that was it. So at the time I wasn't driving. So I said to my mate, I got a call saying like 4 o'clock I need to be at Liverpool Academy. The next day at 4 o'clock you need to be at Liverpool Academy for a medical. And I was like, all right, okay. I said, but how am I going to get to Liverpool Academy? So I phones my mate up, who's a bricklayer, right? And I said to him, are you driving? He said, yeah. I said, so where are you? So I'm at work. He said, I need you to take me over to Liverpool. He said, what for? So I did a medical at Liverpool. He went, I'm only in my work van. I went, and? So my mate picks me up in his white work van, drives me over to meet Kenny in Liverpool Academy with all his shorts and that on, his rig boots and that, and drops me off in this white van. And I get in his Audi, and I go off to the training ground to Melwood, and then I go to the hospital and I do a medical. My agent's on his way down. It was brilliant. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Kev, have you ever had that when you're stuck just in the motor with just you and a manager? It is the worst, man.
I don't think fucking I ever gave a manager a lift. I was always banned for driving side.
So
I got some fucking Sunderland season with the driving. But no, I've been in a manager's company where I've had to go in here 1-to-1 with him on a
regular basis. On a regular basis. Why am I not playing?
Fucking, I met a manager once in a lay-by, and got in his car. He got in my car.
How much
you paying?
Big Mick.
Was it a dog inside?
No, I can't say who it was, and the silence was deafening. It was like, what do you say? You're sitting there, a fucking 2 inches away from a guy, and it's like, how you doing? And it just feels really uncomfortable, Si. I'm not the best in social spaces, the best of the time, but sitting with a manager with somebody you don't know what to say, it's very, very difficult.
Oh, Charlie, see on Dalglish, is he a good manager? I can't imagine he does much coaching, does he?
No, he didn't do much coaching. Steve Clark done all the coaching, and Kevin Keane. So Steve Clark was Scotland manager, and that he was brilliant. Clark's coaching was different class. You know what I mean?
What would the Godfather Kenny? Would he just stand at the side and watch? Or would
he'd watch, and then at the come at the weekend, like after his training, that he'd go and shoot with the lads. He'd do a bit of pinging the lads in the goal and that after training. Couple of penalties and that. He'd walk in, but he was brilliant. You know what I mean?
He's got got a dry sense of humour, Kenny Dalglish.
Very dry sense of humour. A lot of foreign lads didn't really understand what he was saying, but he was great with me, and I'm really honoured that he managed to get me to sign for Liverpool.
Here, Charlie, see how you're talking earlier on about like angry managers and stuff like that. What was Kenny like when things didn't go right for Liverpool? Was he an angry man, or how did he?
No, he'd have a go, but listen, the players that we had in our dressing room, we'd sort it out. The lads would sort it out themselves. You know, when I went to Liverpool, I was overawed. Really, should have expressed myself more, opened up a little bit more, and be the person I am now. Do you know what I mean? Where I should have an opinion, but I didn't really. I felt like because of who was in the dressing room, I'd really never expressed myself enough.
Do you feel like you didn't fit in because you'd come from like a lesser club to a big, massive club, or?
Oh, when I first walked in the door, mate, I was so nervous and like you say, going a bit like what Fergie was. I was like with Stevie. Like even though I played with Blackpool in the Premier, I felt like are they judging me how every pass I make, or am I getting it away? And for the first 2 days, I was so nervous. I kept getting the ball away. I was thinking they must have thought, he's shite. What have we signed him for? Do you know what I mean? But it's just that's how you are, and because you look up to these people. Do you know what I mean? And it was tough, but listen.
Did Carragher and Gerrard run the dressing room then, Charlie?
They were the main focal points of the dressing room. Stevie was quiet. He never wasn't. You know, he wouldn't have a go at lads and that, but he'd set the tone of the training and his presence and his aura and that. But Carragher would be the one that would have a go at the lads. And you know, I remember one time with him and Bellamy that Bellows was a top guy, like good guy. You know, he was, but he was hard in training, like Fergie moaning a lot, and he moaned at John Flanagan one day. And obviously Flano and Carragher are quite close, I think, in the family side of it and that, or thingy. And Bellows had to go at Flano, and Carragher fucking lost his head. Don't fucking speak to him like that and all that, and show respect him and everything like that. And it was like, you know, knew that Carragher was the main man in the dressing room and that. And to be fair, Bellows apologised, so it was good. But Carragher,
love that, Carragher, love that.
He was, he was good, but there was a great story. Bellows was living up here on his own one time, up here, and his missus and that were in Cardiff. So he would sit next to me. So he was left of me, and Pepe Reina was to the right of me. So it was they two between, and I was there. So he come in one morning, fucking fuming, like, and I said, "What's up with you, Bellows?" And he went, "You're not going to believe it." I said, "What?" He says, "You know, I play FIFA online and that, right?" And I says, "Yeah." I said, "I'm hopeless on computers and that." He says, "Like, so you buy these coins and all that, and all these things, got all these players and that. Some bastards frauded me." He's like, he took me card and took all my coins off me, and I ended up with a shite team. And it was on, he's playing in his mind, and like, he's a deep thinker, and he was fuming for about a week up for it. Like, somebody had robbed him online and that, and he was just affecting him every day. He just kept coming in, moaning and all that, saying, "This guy stole all my coins," and like everything like that. But it just shows, like, it didn't matter what he was doing, he was moaning.
Was Dirk Kuyt as shite as he looked for the outside?
Nah. People say he was shite, and I seen that Gary McCoist.
Yeah, Gary McCoist.
It's a bit harsh, innit? Do you know what I mean? But to be fair, he did score a hat-trick inside 6. The total distance was 6 yards. I've seen him score a hat-trick, honestly. Do you not remember that one for Liverpool? He scored, every goal was 2 yards out. He scored a hat-trick.
That's all he ever scored to me, wasn't it? Like 2 yard tappings, man.
But honestly, he scored one of the best goals in the Carling Cup final, straight for the edge of the box. But he was a great guy, Dirk. And, you know, would he say was technically unbelievable? No, but he was good. But listen, you don't play for Holland and the teams that he played for if you're bad players. You know what I mean? He was he worked his nuts off. He was a good player, great lad in the dressing room, and he was brilliant, you know. But
Slaney, thoughts on Dirk Kuyt?
Well, he's got the right surname, Dirk Shite. To be honest, it's guys like him, James Milner, Duncan Watmore, he's the winger's a bad name. And Charlie, as you said, Dirk Shite, I do believe he might have worked but no, not for me.
That's the police and Slane Dog, innit?
That is, mate. That's the toughest crack, man.
Anyway, what about the Slane Dog when I met him in the O2? Him and his mate KT. He pied me off, didn't he?
No. Oh.
See that night?
You know, he didn't. I went to speak to KT, and he's like looking at me as if, "What are you talking to my mate for? What you shouldn't be talking to him." Him and Jerry Cinnamon.
No, Charlie boy. See, when I was doing there, I swear to God, I actually missed the full show. I couldn't believe it, the amount of birds I was winching that night. It was fucking unbelievable.
That was brilliant. That was good.
Kev, Suarez, talk to me.
I actually just forgot that Charlie played with Suarez. That must have been fucking incredible, because that guy is obviously a maniac, but he's a top footballer, Charlie. Tell us a wee bit about the real Luis Suarez. Know the persona that we see in the stupid things that he's done. You've obviously come face to face and shared a dressing room. What can you tell us about Suarez that we wouldn't really understand or see?
Luis Suarez was a practical joker. Like every day, we used to now and then we'd get the doctor and we'd pick him up. And at Melwood there was a swimming pool, so him and Pepe and myself, we'd pick up the doctor at his room and we'd bring him and we'd throw him in the pool, and he'd be fuming. Like, but Louis was always playing like stupid little pranks and all that, and he was like a team player. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing about him. Everybody sees this persona, and listen, he made a few mistakes when he was in England, but he was just a normal player in the dressing room. Wanted to have a laugh and a joke, and having fun, and nothing different from anybody else. You know what I mean? You'd never isolate yourself away from anybody else. You'd just be a normal guy having a laugh and a joke.
I didn't know that he used to have his teeth out to dry all the time, though. Is he the best you played with, Charlie?
The best striker, yeah. He's like, if he could win a game on his own. He's that type of player that he can score it or nothing. He can win you a game. He's phenomenal. He can look after a back four on his own as a number 9 up front. He had everything. And talking about like finishing and all that, when I first went there, I was thinking really erratic finishing. But as the time gone on, he improved, and his goal scoring record was unbelievable at Liverpool. And he was a top player. And some of him and Carragher would put lumps at each other every day. Do you know what I mean? Like just wanted to win, and they enjoyed the battle. It was good.
Love that.
Charlie, who was shite at Liverpool? You can cut it out. We can cut it out if you're not happy with it. Did you play with Big Lovren?
No, I never played with Lovren, no.
Lucky for you. Do you remember that twat tried to Cruyff turn somebody in his own box?
Aye. He said, I never played with him. He was after me. I think Brendan signed him.
Kev, what about Jordan Henderson, fellow Sunderland legend like yourself?
Si, do you know what, right? He obviously signed the same time as Charlie, and the fact that he's still there, and the things he's done for Liverpool, and the things he's still doing for Liverpool, and even, I think, if you look at the Premiership players come up the other week there about their initiative to try and help the NHS, and the amount of captains from other teams, the way they speak highly of Jordan Henderson, his growth from signing the days with Charlie to where he is now is incredible. And I would like to say that I know absolutely nothing about Jordan Henderson at Sunderland, because he'd probably been under like 10s, 11s, 12s, but what a rise from where he was to where he is now, Si. Amazing. So Charlie, tell us in about Jordan Henderson.
Like, see for that side as well, Charlie, for me, he doesn't look like a centre midfielder that can like absolutely pop the ball out, is he?
Well, listen, he's one that, listen, he doesn't drink, he's teetotal, like he's a proper athlete. When I first signed, I think I played against him when I was at Blackpool, he was at Sunderland, so he's only a young lad coming in, and it was difficult when he first came in because we were all fighting for the same position. He played more on the right wing when I was there, and it was me, Lucas, Stevie, we'd play centre midfield, so he never really got that opportunity. And then Brendan, I think, sort of brought him into central midfield. The big thing about Jordan was he was always fit. Do you know what I mean? That was his thing. His fitness was massive for him. And over the years, I think he's developed into, a top football player. Like, can pass it, can control it, people criticise him saying he doesn't pass it enough forward, but in his specific role in the team for Liverpool, he does the right job and he does what he's good at. Do you know what I mean? He plays to his strengths. Liverpool are a better team when he's in their team.
You're a much better player than him, Charlie. Much better player.
Technically, maybe, but
Jordan Henderson, he could only dream of doing things that you could do. He must have sat in training and think, I wish I could do that. That man's got nothing in you. Oh, my good friend Simon Ferry there. Proper midfield player.
All-rounder, Si, wasn't he?
Correct, me, all-rounder, mate. I could do fuck all.
But no, listen, saying what Kev said, like from where he was when I first signed to where he is and what he's done now is just phenomenal. And I think he'll get hopefully get the player of the year. I think he's been the best player for Liverpool this year.
It just shows you, though, like, see, being a loser and a geek, like, no drinking and no going out, it fucking goes a long way, doesn't it? It does, mate, I'm telling you.
Listen, everybody's different. Like, you know, we all like it. We all enjoy a bevy, a drink now and then, and it's the day at the right times. You know, it's the top players all have a drink. They all do it, but they do it at the right times when they can. If it's the summer holidays, if Jordan, he's never done it in his whole career, so why start doing it now? Do you know what I mean? And Milner's the same. So
wait, you're trying to tell me they win the Champions League and they didn't have a pint after it?
No, nothing supposedly.
Oh.
They might, like, I don't know. I'm only guessing. You need to ask Robbo. Robbo might know, but I would, you know, that's what I'm saying about, like, when I Blackpool, when I got promoted, you know, I was in bed for 11 o'clock. Probably never enjoyed the Scottish way we normally enjoy it, pints and, you know, because of the adrenaline and that was just too much at the end. It was just, you know, I was knackered. But, you know, some people are different. Everybody's different. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, that's why he's in the Premier League.
You didn't celebrate after the playoff final, Charlie?
Huh?
You didn't celebrate after the playoff final?
Oh, I did. I went back to the hotel and that, and had a few beers and, like, had a few in the dressing room and after again. But come 11 o'clock, I was knackered and the whole build-up and the whole day was just draining. Do you know what I mean? But I know lads.
I lost the semi-final of the playoffs. I went on a 4-day bender. It's fucking magic.
Listen, we funny story about this one when we beat Nottingham Forest in the semi-final, and so Ollie's got on the bus, usual beers on the bus and that, back to the casino in Blackpool. So we get back in that. So I get pulled at the casino about 4 or 5 o'clock. My missus saying, right, you need to get home. So I goes home and that. And so Barry Bannon and Stephen Craney stay in the casino. So they do all night, all day, all night in the casino, back into Lytham. And Crane said at 4 o'clock on, like, a day and a half later, his missus in the pub pulling him out with a school kit for the kids in the car, pulling him out the pub, saying, you need to come home. And he said to his missus, this is what he said to his missus, I'll be home in an hour. He said, I remember at one point, him and Baz walking through Lytham at 5, 6 o'clock, everybody's in having fish and chips and a tea, and he said we were swaying side to side all the way through Lytham for a day and a half being on a drink, like, and Ollie loved it. He was like, who was the last to finish on it? And his Cranes were telling stories. It was brilliant.
Well, amazing. Slaney, you going to give us a Freddie Mercury performance? Come on. I seen the mask here. Give us a wee.
I'll do a wee one at the end for you, Si.
Slaney, have you not got any stories of us in trash or that? Carbon.
Trash was a wee bit before my time. I used to go to Silver on a Thursday night. Used to drink Blue Wickies, Charlie. Unbelievable. Drink all sorts of Blue Wickies. Remember you used to wear the Lion Scott t-shirts? Aye. Oh, mate, I had every single colour of them. And I used to just sit, honestly, the amount of balls I was a fiend back then.
So, Charlie, you done the documentary. Obviously, we've seen the Sunderland one, Kev's. Yeah. How strange was it being part of that? Like, how intrusive was it?
It wasn't intrusive. It was just, obviously, they were there and they needed certain times. It was just, you know, when it came out, it just didn't look good, did it? It was a bit... It didn't look good for anybody, the players or anything like that. And obviously for Brendan, he seemed to love it. Do you know what I mean? But it was at the time. It was just we went with it because it was Liverpool, and we were just told that was part of what was going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
It was when Sterling answered them back, wasn't it? Remember?
Oh yeah, I remember. I was training at the side. I was training the pitch. He hammered them, went for him big time in that. But Raheem, 17, 18 years of age. Do you know what I mean? Gave him a bit back and he wasn't happy with it. But I think he just tried to stamp his authority there and then, and, you know, listen, he had an unlucky time there and, you know, so close to win the league, and he ended up with the Celtic job in the end.
Could you tell Sterling was going to be special?
He was unbelievable. He was different. I actually thought Jordan Ibe should have done better than what he's done. He had everything, Jordan Ibe. Strong, quick, powerful, good player, but just never fulfilled his potential at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Raheem just took in his game to a different level, and he was 15, 16 training with the first team then, and so quick and direct, and everybody was worried that, you know, if he technically was he good enough, but Pep's obviously worked with him, Brendan's worked with him, and he's improved himself, you know.
Kev, did you watch the documentary? Do you remember it?
I do remember it, Si. I remember bits of it. I remember obviously the envelope thing. Was it that he put an envelope into something to do with the
Player that'll let us down.
3 players.
Aye.
I obviously was. I must have been one of them in that envelope. Now, 'cause I couldn't wait to get rid of me.
I heard, Charlie, you were the name in all 3 envelopes.
Fucking hell, unbelievable.
Oh, did you ever find out if there was a name in the envelope?
There was nothing in there. It was just all that was just to try and put the feelers into lads and say, listen, you know, if anybody wants to go on their own journey, just go and do what you want to do. But we all need to stick together. And I think that's what that was. But
Do you think Brendan regrets that?
absolutely, yeah.
Aye.
Absolutely. But you learn by experience. He was only 39
That's
at the time, you know. You learn from the experiences. You're a better manager now than he was when he was at Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? But to get the Liverpool job at such a young age was incredible. And, you know, obviously Celtic got a better Brendan Rodgers, and now Leicester are getting an even better Brendan Rodgers, you know.
Charlie, is he world class?
Listen, he's a good manager. He's a good coach. I probably never worked long enough with him to know what he was like, but his record at Celtic speaks for itself. What he's done at Leicester is good. You know, he was unlucky at Liverpool. So yeah, listen, he's a top manager. Yeah.
Slaney, did you see the thing? He had Brendan had a picture of himself in his living room. Have you got one of them as well?
No way. I love Brendan Rodgers, but it does kind of remind me, Charlie. You might agree with me. He's kind of like David Brent a wee bit. Do you think so?
What, they love to selling that?
Just the way he speaks and all that.
Listen, he's got a persona and he's got a way of being the way he is. You know what I mean? And like I said before, you learn from experiences that you know previously what he's done. I don't think he's the same manager he was before Liverpool. But you know, I never had enough time with him, and you know how I left Liverpool was disappointing, and that's how I always remember, you know, Brendan.
What paintings have you got up in your living room? George Slane painting himself?
George Slane, my ma. They actually do every night in my house, because it's lockdown. They're actually doing the Titanic scene now, where ma paints my dad, my dad paints my ma. I don't know what, and they make us free watch them. The other kids have to watch them and enjoy it. So that's what we're doing at the moment, Simon.
Do they two still call for each other, Slane?
Mate, I don't know if they're still at it in a way. I've not heard that and going on for a wee while now.
Really?
I don't know, mate, because when we were growing up...
Today.
What?
He's not calling you Si, he's calling you Simon. It must be getting to him, eh?
No, so, gentlemen, I'm trying to break the mould of me saying Si.
Break the mould, Si.
So I need to say Simon.
Si.
You're doing well, Slaney.
Much better, innit?
Here's one for you, Slaney. If you can pick your mum to be cheating on your dad with anyone in Scottish football, who would it be?
Gordon DL.
No, they like Chris on. Have you seen the pictures of him?
What a man!
Have you seen him light cycling around the streets?
What, the new?
No, but he like us on that. Somebody was just seen on Twitter and that with him, like socks over the ankles and like, over a.
I was cycling to my house.
Wait, did you know have his pair of socks in the front of his shorts as well, Charlie? Slaney, you know Gordon Dale, didn't you? Your pals on.
Unbelievable, mate. We used to do coaching drills and that, and he used to go back to me every day. Slaney boy, I'm going to show you the Man City drill or the Real Madrid drill. Mate, and he just put it on. It was like a fucking... All it was a pass. They just passed each other and he just carried on. It was a Real Madrid drill. But what a guy. I love Big Gordon.
Hero. Right, Charlie, just Peter Crouch, obviously, he's killing us in the podcast charts. He's the only guy that can beat us, man.
Yeah.
Is there anyone we can come from about that we can bring him down a bit?
Nah, listen, Crouch is one of the best guys that he's an all one, loves a bevy. Like,
is he? Yeah.
Oh, loves it. Like, even when we were playing, like, you know, always up for have a night out. You know, even after a game, you know, he'd be having a beer in the house and that. He's a top lad, top guy, and you know, just listen, he's just done unbelievable. And everybody loves him, and that's the thing. That's why he's so good. You know.
Did you ever go around his and Abby's?
No, I've never been round to his and Abby's. Never. I've had a few invites, but he's in London. He lives in London, isn't he? So it is tough. But he's still speak to him now quite a bit, and you know he's a big golfer. He likes to play his golf and that. So.
But see, when we're going to obviously I honestly think we're a ball head away from breaking into England. So Peter, it's going to get very messy. I think with us and Peter Crouch.
Right. So who in England do you want?
Well, Charlie, what I want is for a start is I'm going to come down and totally change Soccer AM I'll change it and then leave. That has been a shambles for a long time. And then we'll take care of the game, because what's happened in Scotland, we've done it that much now. We've completed Scotland to say the least. And we need fresh ideas. And as I said, Dave Jones takes a life out of me. So I will start with him. And then, Charlie, I don't know how we'll go about it, but certainly there'll be a big noise coming for the open goal down south.
Charlie, who do you think would be worth us getting? Who would be a good character that you've met over the years that would be good then?
Bullard.
Oh, Bullard was Slaney.
Bullard and Slaney.
Come on.
Yeah, he'll come on. I can speak to him if you want. He'll definitely come on.
Oh, what a legend.
Bullard is unbelievable.
You got any Bullard stories, Charlie, now?
Loads. So, I'm playing golf with him in Portugal about 2 years ago. My mate, and so we go and play Quinta, and so I said to him, so we're going around the golf course having a few beers and that, half cut. So he just said to me, this is at the Blue, right? Don't know if any's know it. Do you know Quinta del Lago any is? Paul, you know it.
We're all skin, Charlie.
So we're playing golf and that, and we're playing one of the courses. And at the Blue, he just said, right, I'm just going to keep driving this buggy until I hit something, right? So I said, whatever, mate. Yeah. So him and my mate are in this buggy filming it, right? So they just keep driving, going through the golf course, going down. So on one of the holes, you go from 16 to 17, but you have to go like through like a couple of streets. You need to go down a street in that, turn right, and then the next hole's on the thingy. So he just says, I ain't stopping until I hit something. So he goes round the corner, comes out, he goes straight on the lamppost. He says, and he's shouting in the car, I ain't stopping until I hit this lamppost. He put the golf cart right through the lamppost, mate. Broke the cart. Paralytic, the cart falls over and all that, beer everywhere, and I said, oh no, what's going to happen here? So we finished the round, and I said, what are we doing? So we're having a few beers at the golf, and my missus said to me, where are you? So I'm just having a few beers, Bullard's here and that, blah, blah. So I said, right, taxi's here. So I get in a taxi, and he gets in his taxi on his own, like thinking he's going home. But he follows my taxi with me and my mates to my house, to the villa. So I'm there, get into the side of the pool and that, not even knowing, I leave the front door open, he comes running and dives straight in my swimming pool. I didn't even know, he'd never met my missus in my life, kids are everywhere, and he dives straight in my swimming pool, and I'm like, he's just unbelievable, and he just sat for about 2 hours just drinking gin and all that, and he was brilliant, but he's definitely one you should get on.
Well, what a hero, man, hero. Right, last question, what about Big Arnautovic, what's he like?
No,
man's having himself, isn't he?
He is having himself. He's a top player and that, and I still believe that he should have been playing for one of the big clubs in England instead of going to Russia. Went through West Ham. He could have went to Chelsea, Man United. He's good enough for that. Listen, he is a lunatic. He bought himself a Rolls Royce Wraith, right? Just 250 grand. Turned up at Stoke, bought this car, and so we're like, oh, nice, black and that. Come in 3 days later. Come in. He'd wrapped it red.
Oh no!
Just wrapped it red like Rafe, and I was like, that's just the type of guy he was. But he was a top guy on the pitch, in the dressing room. He'd have a laugh with him and that, and he was good.
Charlie, what about Tony Pulis?
I didn't really get on him. Aye, dinosaur. Terrible.
Why did no one tell him to stop dressing like an 8-year-old boy on the side of the pitch?
That's terrible, wasn't it? But when he signed me, after obviously I'd signed, and after 4 months I'd went through a few problems at home and that with dad and things like that. And then in the January he just pulled me in and went, I don't think this is working for us. Don't think it's working for you. You can go. And I was like, fucking hell, it's a bit of a shock. I've got a 4-year deal here. So you just signed me in that. And he's like, nah, you can go. And luckily, the only thing that saved me was because I'd played for Liverpool in the Europa League, you couldn't play for 3 clubs in a one season.
Right.
So then I had to sit it out all season. So then he bombed me out from the December right to March or something like that. We were struggling near the relegation. He brought me in at QPR. We won 2-0. And I never played every game to the end of the season. Then he got the bullet. And then Mark Hughes come in, and then that was it really. But nah, it was a chore going into training every day with the training and that.
What is the tactics? Just leathered about the pitch,
Leathered about the pitch. Don't even you play on a Saturday, and by the Tuesday you'd know if you were playing the following Saturday. That's how boring it was. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Just honestly, the goalie would get the ball, throw it to the full back, and the first thing he'd say, right, hit the big man, hit Crouchy on a diagonal. That's all he would do.
Crouchy's better than that as well, mate. Get the ball on his feet.
You can get the ball on his feet, mate. And then they put me in the number 10. I used to just follow him round. They used to call me, just call me Rafa van der Vaart and Big Crouchy. That's what he used to call us, Rafa and Crouchy.
Just before we end here, can you, I know it's very difficult, can you give me top 5 players you've played with and against, even three each?
Three. Suarez, Gerrard and who?
Fergie?
Suarez, Gerrard, and best players I've played with.
Rory Delap.
What a throw in.
Glenn Johnson was unbelievable.
Was he? Aye.
Yeah, technically unbelievable for a full back. Made both feet like.
He could spank it with both feet, couldn't you?
He could play. Should still be playing now. He made enough dough in that, and just fell out of love with the game, and just could easily still be playing now. He was that good,
I'll ask you just one player. Who's the hardest player you've played against?
I always had a tough time against Scott Parker.
Oh, Scott Parker.
Like everybody said, listen, I'm lucky I played against the best ones. Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, them all. But as a whole game, he was like a rash on Scott Parker. Horrible.
Oh wait, I've just thought of one. What about your man Berahino? Is he a screwball?
Oh.
That wee guy does not give a fuck.
No, he doesn't. Listen, I know he had a tough upbringing, but for me, he was miles
Was
off.
Glenn Johnson right? What you said about Berahino?
Absolutely. He used to like, what I don't understand about him, right, is what it's like, Gary, being in the dressing room and that, and he was one of the lads that lived the closest to the training ground, and he'd rock up 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, right? But it was never his fault. I said, well, leave your house 10 minutes earlier. He went, no, I leave at this time every day. I said, but just... And the lad, there's no talking to him, no, and he's like, the lads just gave up, and, it can always come for the players and the senior players all the time, but there's some point where you think, fuck you, do you know what I mean? Why are we wasting our breath on you? And that's where it got. You know what I mean? We just gave up as a group, thinking, fucking, if you don't want to do it, there's no point. Do you know what I mean?
Is he a talented kid as well, Charlie? Can he play?
I could see why some clubs, Tottenham, tried to sign him and that, but me personally, I think there was bigger issues, as in people around them. Do you know what I mean? What I always say to young players is, when you make sure you surround yourself with good people that are going to do the best for your career, and I just don't think he had that right people around him. Do you know what I mean? The penny might drop soon. He's still only young. It might drop. I know he's playing in Belgium and he's done all right, but the penny hopefully will drop from him, and hopefully he can have a decent career.
That's us, lads. Before we go, Freddie, are we getting a Freddie Mercury?
Want to be Freddie Mercury performance?
Have you got a Hoover? Get the Hoover. Day I want to break free.
Let me see. Mum! She's no in. I'll keep that for when me and my Mal do wee one, because we've got a Pat Butcher match coming as well, so I'll do Freddie.
Right, that's us, lads. Charlie, thanks very much, mate.
Lads, thank you very much.